Great Biafrans all over the world, I want to say good night, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on your time zone at this very hour. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olu province of Biafra land. By the grace of Chukwu Kikabiyama, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of Directorate. This very broadcast tonight is the first of a 4-series broadcast that will be made in the coming days and weeks ahead of us. And they are going to focus particularly on the atrocities and the insecurity in Biafra land that some people will call the Southeast. The orchestrated insecurity that is being carried out by the enemies of our freedom. Let me commence with a commendation. Of course, I already brought out a memo to that effect, but because I'm on air tonight, I sincerely and heartily commend IPOB families worldwide for a very successful 30th May 2022 of our remembrance of our Biafran heroes and heroines. I am commending you because we did something different in a way. And the result, the feedback we have been receiving, the attendance during this very 30th of May Heroes Day, Biafran Heroes Day, the feedback is very encouraging because in so many cities around the world, in so many countries, we were able to have in attendance, the locals, now I mean those who own the land where we sojourn, where we reside, as IPB family members. Therefore, I commend all of you who did excellently well. I commend all of you who, in fact, carried out the instruction as directed, because that is why we are IPOB. We follow instructions as they are given to us. And at the end of the day, like Oyendu will say, just do what we ask you to do. And at the end of the day, you will see the reason why we have asked you to do that to take that very part or to follow that very course of action. And we are very, very glad and happy that we had in attendance very many people who will have ordinarily not have attended our rallies in diaspora. There is a very important event also coming up this very month. All roads lead to Brussels on the 14th and 15th of June 2022. The Biafran, the Amazonian, and the Oduduwa Yoruba Nation 1 million man march comes up on these dates. If you have not yet booked your trip, please do so, because the world must hear us on that day. The world must see us also on that day. And the authorities in Europe, they will also see us, hear us, and know that a people, some nations came to their headquarters to make sure that they are aware of our desire as a nation, as a people, to be free, and also make them to understand and be aware of the atrocities that is being committed on the Biafran people, the Amazonian people, and the Oduduwa nation, Oduduwa people, by the respective governments where these nations find themselves, albeit unwillingly, at this very moment. Therefore, I enjoin every IPOB family member, please, there is no excuse, because this rally, it was, we had made it known for a very long time. Therefore, those, there will be no excuses that you are working or you're not working, because you will be able to put a request for some free day off to be able to attend this very, very historical event on the 14th and 15th of June 2022. Please keep a date with this very, very historical date and event. Be a part of it. It's your children will be told, you will tell your children about that in time to come. Also, I want to let Biafrans know that yes, we've been making progress as it concerns our campaign against the BBC, but we have not achieved our objective at the moment. Therefore, our call campaign against BBC's fake news, against BBC's misinformation and propaganda, against IPOB, which they, BBC, run on behalf of the Nigerian Fulani government, continues for the next 2 weeks. This campaign continues for the next 2 weeks. We must not allow anyone to, in any manner, try to intimidate Biafrans, because we know that this generation has a mission ordained by heaven, and we must accomplish it. The BBC must pull down their blatant falsehood against our leader and against IPOB. That paid work that they did in order to portray this very peaceful movement as a violent one, they must retract that video. They must put it down. They must retract that report, because it is a complete falsehood, and of course we know why they are doing what they are doing. We have to let them know. We have to let them know that this is not 1967 to 1970. And this generation of Biafrans do not take any prisoners. We do not take any prisoners as far as pursuing our Chukwu Kikabiyama given right to live as a free people in our land, Biafra, is concerned. We take no prisoners. We must ensure that all hands are on deck. All hands must be on deck. This calls must be made and continue to be made until they pull down that nonsense that they call the report. In fact, it's a shame. It's a shame, but we know some of these media houses, they have no longer shame. If they could lie to the world why 5 million Biafrans were being massacred in the 67. There is nothing else. We will not be surprised what comes out of their sleeves this time around. So, but Biafrans, we are ready for this battle, and we must face it head on and ensure that our state is not corrupted by those who do not wish us well. We must not allow anyone, any person, or institution to distort the true facts in their attempt to demonize IPOB. And then, in their attempt after demonizing IPOB to have a concocted, what they may call evidence against our leader in his trials. The leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, we had on several occasions, either through this our hallowed platform, the Radio Biafra, or through press statements from our publicity and communication secretary, we have continued to inform our people that the Nigerian security agencies, be it the army, the police, the DSS, even the one that was formed by the so-called governors of Eastern region, the Babago, we have continued to alert and let everyone know that all these agencies and security apparatus were all and are still all working together with the Fulani terrorist headsmen. And what are the objectives? That is why I said people must pay attention tonight. We will stay on this issue of insecurity in Biafra land for the next 4 broadcasts, and this will come not just let me say after tonight. In the next 3 days, we will again come, because we must make sure that this narrative that they have deliberately brought out in the public domain, that it must not, on no account, must we allow it to stick, because then we will have a problem. And I know what IPOB can do. I know what this family can do. We have fought battles, we have fought wars, and we have come all victorious. Not out of our own power or our own intellect, but because heaven is with us, because Chukwabiyama is at the helm of our affairs, because he has ordained that this very family IPOB must come. And of course, our leader, Mazi Chika Edoziem, he has been given this onerous task to make sure that the children of heaven are saved from the evil that is called the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. As I said, the army, the police, the DS, every aspect of the Nigerian security apparatus, they are working in consonance, in collaboration with the Fulani terrorist headsmen, and their agenda, their singular purpose is to cause insecurity in our land, and then turn around, as they are doing presently, to tell us or to tell the world that this IPOB movement is a violent movement. We also told you, we also informed Biafrans that criminals that call themselves cultists are working for politicians who are in turn pursuing the same objective as the Nigerian security agencies, which is they will create insecurity in the east, in the southeast. They will cause all forms of evil and criminality, and then they will say, yes, it is IPOB, it is ESN, and then of course they will tell us who is the leader of IPOB, who is the leader of ESN. They will know because our leader is their target. Don't make mistake about it. The target of the Nigerian government, the target of the zoo, the target of all the killings going on in our land is no other person but the leader of this great movement. And IPOB has a duty. Each one of us, we have a duty to stop the enemy on their tracks. We have a duty to make sure that we are telling this story as it is. And I can't quote it, because the way he walks is not the way that man walks. He has been very, very gracious to us. And I believe he will continue to be gracious to his children until victory, total victory, is achieved. That is why in our language, they say that efi na-enweghị ọdụdụ ọ bụ gịnị chie na-achọrọ ya ejiji. That is a cow without a tail. I'll just translate it, the way we say it. A cow without a tail is only, without a tail you can't drive away flies when they come around to look for what to eat or to bother the animal. In that sense, we say that it is only the spirit that guides that animal that helps him or her to drive away flies so that they don't bother him that much. So IPOB is like we are facing great enemies. We know that. We are not in any manner belittling what we are facing. We are not. We know what we are facing. We know what we have faced. We know what we have gone through, with what our leader has gone through up to this moment and what he is still going through. And that's why I say at the end of all this, we have come tops and we have come victorious, and of course our leader would come out victorious as well, because Chukwu Abiyama is with us and he is at the helm of this affair. The Nigerian government is the hand behind the insecurity happening in Biafra land, in the southeast. Pay attention. The Nigerian government, no other person. They are responsible, fully responsible for the insecurity in southeast. I'm not saying here, some people will say that they are merely vicariously liable. No. It's not. This is direct responsibility, because the army is a Nigerian army, the police is a Nigerian police, the DSS is a Nigerian secret security agency, and of course, the Fulani terrorist herdsmen, they are part of the Nigerian government, because we have Miyetti Allah as part of the government, and Miyetti Allah is in charge of the Fulani herdsmen. Therefore, Miyetti Allah is in charge of the terrorist Fulani herdsmen, and they in turn are part of the government. So the Nigerian government is directly responsible for the crimes going on in Biafra land. And they are working, like I said already, in consonant, or the politicians are working in consonant with the Nigerian government. They are pursuing the same agenda. They are afraid. They are terribly, terribly scared of the pedigree of our leader, but this is not what you die. I mean, you cannot achieve anything by being envious of him or being jealous of him. Heaven has ordained him. You can't stop it. No one can stop it. No one, whether you're born of woman or whatever, you can't stop it, because heaven, whether you're evil spirit or you can't stop him, because the Almighty, the Creator, has sent him on this very, very mission, and he must bring it to accomplishing. He must accomplish the job that heaven has assigned to him to accomplish. Last week, there was an audio recording of a kidnap victim. Now, listen carefully, and I'm trying to make a kind of an analysis of these very criminal activities and insecurity in Biafra, and for you to understand exactly, so that people will stop looking for you're looking for the reason or the person behind this crime, while the perpetrators are staring you there on your face. This audio recording of a kidnapped victim, I can't remember now how many of them, and this audio went viral on social media. In that audio, one of the kidnappers, who clearly is a Fulani soldier, because you know when soldiers speak, you know when you hear them talk, you understand that they don't talk like a civilian. They talk like people who have been trained to speak with authority, even though especially when they are speaking with a civilian, you see them try to show that yes, they have gone, so you are bloody civilian, you must listen. So this man, or this supposed kidnapper, was threatening the man whom the victims contacted to help or assist to raise the ransom money that these kidnappers demanded, in order to see if they are lucky, they will be released. If they are not lucky, they will pay the ransom and they will still kill them. This kidnapper was threatening the helper, so to speak, to stop, because this person was asking, where exactly are the location of these, where the victims are, where exactly, it's not asking because he wants to go there and rescue him, no, but he wants to have an idea, where are they? Are they in Anambra or Imo or Abia, or where exactly, which area? And so the military man, this Fulani kidnapper, who is a military officer, got offended and asked him, why is he bothering about where they are? That even if he tells him where they are, does he think he can come there to rescue him? What do you make of this very statement? This statement only shows one thing, that these kidnappers, they kidnap their victims, they keep their victims either very close to army barracks, or they keep them right inside the barracks most of the times. And that's why they will confidently tell you, if I tell you where they are, will you come and rescue them? Now, this is the reason, this very situation that I am now relaying to Biafrans and to the world, is the reason why the military in our land, they are giving security to Fulanis by issuing them what? ID cards, and then they will be residing in the military barracks. And specifically, they will write it there, Fulani identity card. It is these Fulani people that have been given security in the barracks that will either, after usual agreement, they will now go and do the kidnapping, come back and keep the victims where they have to make sure, where they keep them, and then making sure nobody will come there to even try and rescue them. The police cannot go. We had. I will come to that anyway. And then they will begin to demand their ransom. Sometimes they will even tell you, in this Soch area, they will tell you, or some other areas, they will tell you to drop the ransom at a military checkpoint. At a military checkpoint, for you to drop the ransom there. Are people really dumb? After all these things, we hear you keep a kidnapper that is supposed to be running for the military is now telling you to keep your ransom. The military man will even ask you what is inside. Normally, they will ask you what is inside. You will say it's money, and they will ask you why are you bringing money. And you will tell them my brother, my father, or my relative was kidnapped, and then they said we should pay so amount, and they said we should come and drop it here at the military checkpoint. My goodness me. And the military will not, in fact, be surprised. You will keep the money, and they will tell you, okay, go. Maybe if you're lucky, your brother or your relative will be released, and they will now go to the checkpoint to collect that ransom, and the people will not add one to one together to know that the Nigerian military, especially the military, they are the ones spearheading the kidnappings, while the police and the DSS are the ones spearheading the killings that is going on in our land with their politicians. The killings are done mostly by the police. I mean, the army, of course, they do their own. They go, of course, to kill and burn villages and communities. That's not. But most of these kidnappings done by Fulani headsmen are in conjunction with the Nigerian military. That is why I said that the Nigerian government is directly responsible. If they say that they are not aware of what their soldiers are doing, then it means that they have lost control, completely control, and they are not even worthy to call themselves government anymore. If you want to deny culpability or deny knowledge of what a whole institution that like the Nigerian military is doing, then you have lost the moral ground to continue to call yourself a government that can protect its citizens and its property. Now, there is something very, very peculiar around this Soch area. Something that we must pay very attention to. Because a lot of victims have also narrated how shortly after they must have passed the army checkpoint at Soch, they will be attacked a few kilometers from the same army checkpoint by Fulani kidnappers. The only reasonable inference from this scenario that I just mentioned is that the Nigerian army checkpoint now serves as the Fulani kidnappers information outpost, which of course supplies them information on their next target or victim. This is exactly what happened to the Methodist prelate that was also kidnapped. They will, because when they come there, when you come where the army is, they will stop you. They will ask you to roll down your glass or whatever and see who is inside. They will see the car you're driving, and then they will conclude, okay, this one can pay ransom, because the target is not just they stop every vehicle there and target, but they know the ones that they target, and the Fulanis that carry out now the real job, they cannot do it without getting first-hand information on their next victim. And this information they get from the army stationed at the checkpoints that are just a few kilometers from where these kidnappings take place. And then if you come there to the army and tell them something happened, you'll probably be waiting for waiting for heaven to fall for them to even move their hands to do anything, because they are completely in the knowledge of what has happened, and they are waiting to collect their share after the ransom has been paid. We saw as well, we all saw the barbaric murder and beheading of a lawmaker in Anambra State. The Nigerian media went to work after the killing of this lawmaker. I said, state assemblyman. The Nigerian media, they went to work. The BBC, they went to work. Their minors, that is the people that they use to work to attack IPOB in the social media, they also went to work, attempting seriously to hang the murder of this very man on IPOB. Even some reasonable people began to even think IPOB, it may be true that IPOB. You wouldn't reason to ask yourself, what is the benefit of IPOB? Even how does that help or push our struggle forward? People will not do that. Their senses will go on break or on holiday when this kind of situations present themselves. Now, to show you, Biafrans, that the media are part of the game plan, part of the campaign, part of the agenda to demonize IPOB, because we remember the DSS. It was not very long ago. They had a very, very important meeting with civil society organizations, and then NGOs and some of the media. That is where the part of the duty of the media was given to them. Any crime that happened in Southeast, it must be IPOB, it must be ESN. Whether there was an investigation or there was no investigation, it does not matter. Just say it is IPOB and continue to say it is IPOB. The world will listen, the world will believe it, and the world will at the end of the day say, these people, IPOB, they are now terrorizing civilians, therefore they have become terrorists. We will do what? We will ban them and stop them from operating freely in the diaspora. That is the game plan. And the Nigerian media is fully part of that game plan. Now, the true evil perpetrators, the true people who are the agents of darkness, they are known. Did you hear them? Did you hear the media? Because the investigation is in there. What do you call them? The inter-society and other investigative actions that have been taking place has revealed who were behind the murder, the killing, the beheading of the state assemblyman in Anambra State. Did you hear the media go back and apologize for misleading the people? No way. Did you hear them retract their falsehood against IPOB? No way. Why would they do that? They will not serve the purpose for which they have been paid heavily, to be part of this agenda. So what they are now, at the end of the day, when these true facts have come out, rather than, instead of them to, swallow their I don't know, shame, do they have? They don't have shame, but instead of them to in a way claim that they have made a mistake, no, they can't do that. What they have now done is that they turn again around to do what? To focus their attention on the innocent woman called Teresa Onoa, who happened somehow to be a relative of the chief culprit of the killing and beheading of the Anambra State Assemblyman. They now turn their attention what this lady has, or this mother, this woman has built, what the reputation that she has toiled to build through her music. This is now the target of the Nigerian media to destroy this very, very hard work and this very, very woman. But of course, the person who has, Onyendu said, if you are not carrying anything on your head and you fall down, you will not spill nothing on the floor. You will get up and you continue to go where you're going. So all of their efforts to now focus their attention to make the innocent, the person who had no idea, who had nothing to do with the whole crime, they are now focusing on that very individual, and they are leaving behind, or leaving the person who is the culprit, without much attention. Is very, very appalling and very, very sad indeed in the history of media or journalism world over. We are not oblivious of what happened just past weekend, and that is the kidnap of the Methodist prelate that I mentioned before, in passing. This man, who is the head of the Methodist Church worldwide. It's like the Pope or the Archbishop of Canterbury, or who is in charge of the Muslim faith worldwide. This man, goodness me, was also kidnapped. He fell victim. We have been telling our people. Onyendu started in 2015 to announce the coming rain that is coming. People said this young man, is it that you don't have better things to do, or this young man, why are you disturbing the peace of our people? Onyendu was crying daily when he comes on air. He would tell us that something is coming. Now, I'm not in any way mocking anybody. No, not at all. But it has touched the rich. It has touched the powerful. It has touched the elite, those who are on the high level of society, who believe that it will never come to them. That is the message I'm trying to give to politicians tonight. And any of you that call yourself an enlightened Biafran or intellectual, it will come to you at the time, at the appointed time. They will not make any difference between you and a Biafran who is even supporting this struggle through his or her daily toils with keke or wheelbarrow, or as a driver, or in the market, or the market woman who goes to sell her foodstuffs in our market, they will not make any difference between the two of you, because you will even be the one that they will easily, once they see you, they will take you because you will give them money. The money you will give them in our land is the money they have said they are going to use it to do what? To buy more weapons. Weapons. To do what with these weapons? They will come and massacre all of us. All of us. You will not even, the time when it begins, you will not even have the time to go to remember that you have a private jet. It was Okorocha the other day was lying on the floor, calling on heaven to come and save him, because he has served the Fulani now. He has served the Fulani, and the Fulani are telling you, you don't reach that. You betrayed your people. You think we don't know your secrets. Now time don't reach. His charms was not able to save him. He's calling on God, which God I don't know. He was not able to save him. He ended up being what? Being arrested. So my point is that this very prelate, a man of high respect, I'll give it to him, because when you are the leader of millions of adherents to a particular religion, you are a man of respect. So he fell victim like an ordinary one of us, but he was lucky. He was lucky because they were able to raise within 48 hours 100 million naira to do what? To save him. Many of us, we don't even have 10,000 naira to pay to save our people. So we are what? We are all in this hot water together. And the earlier we realize that, and the earlier we join forces together, whether you are an elite or you are an intellectual or intellectual, whatever you call your name, or politician, the earlier we join hands together and support the leader of this great movement, Mazi Chika Edoziem, and ensure his immediate unconditional release from the dungeon, it will come. It will come to all of us. And we must know that we have to use our Enyimba to do what? To save our land, save our children, save our generation, save our future, and save the unborn generation. Otherwise, they will be coming and picking all of you one by one. And then, of course, because they have put the enmity between us, nobody can speak for the other. They will be picking us one after the other as a sniper picks his enemies on the war front. So this is what the Nigerian government planned very, very well. They planned it, and now that their plan is being executed, they are trying to divert your attention from the real culprits. They are trying to divert your attention from the people that they are using to commit these crimes, and they are focusing on the only movement, the only standing movement between them and your total Islamization and your total destruction. And that movement is the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB worldwide, led by Mazi Chika Edoziem. Do you know, when this thing happened to this His Eminence, the Methodist prelate, the Khan, which is the Christian Association of Nigeria, the Khan, in fact, they will have even said IPOB was responsible. But like Chukwu Abiyama is in charge, now that the victim has said it with his own mouth, who we are responsible, Khan has lost its voice, and Khan's totally fake concern for the well-being of Christians in Nigeria, you can see it from this very, very incident that happened to one of them. Khan, Christian Association of Nigeria, and the Nigerian media, they no longer know how to pronounce Fulani, because now it is known that Fulani are the people responsible. They will not even call their name. But if it is to say IPOB was responsible, they know how to call IPOB. They know how to call ESN. But all of you, your time is also coming. Your time is also coming. They dare not mention Fulani in any way. The media will not, because they are working for the same master, and that master they are working for is the Fulani Caliphate. That is why they have gone after a police officer who was brave enough to even say that the people who are kidnapping in this Isoch area and Imo State and in Biafra land as a whole, that they are Fulanis. Now they are threatening him with brimstone and fire. Well, we shall see. We have been trying to make our people understand what is coming. And heaven will bear us witness that we tried. We have been, consistently informing Biafrans of the danger ahead and the plans those that hate their existence have for them, and they hate you for no just cause. We have been telling you what is coming, but our people will again say, if you tell the ear and he did not hear, when you cut off the head, what happened? The ear will not stay on the neck; it will go with the head that is cut off. And we will continue to educate. We will continue to inform, and of course, we will continue to defend our land, the institution that our leader has put in place to defend the territory of Biafra land, the Eastern Security Network. They will continue to defend the land against these marauders, against those who have invaded our land to take it by force and to destroy our heritage. We will not. We're not making any apologies about this. They can call us what they want. What we know is that our agitation is a peaceful one. We have nothing to do with civilian killing of people in Biafra land. It will not bring us nothing. But do you see this Biafran forest and bushes and farmlands? We will protect it against anyone who dares to come in there in order to stop our people from doing their farm work, and or in order to attempt to defile our mothers and our women. We will continue to defend that land. IPOB, and I'm saying this without any equivocation. I am saying it not out of boast or anything. IPOB is the only reason, I want to repeat that the zoo called Nigeria has not totally and completely been Islamized yet and brought under total Sharia rule. You people must be thanking IPOB and thanking, of course, Mazi Chika for the wonderful work he has done so far. And we heard Dr. Mailafe told you that the Fulani are preparing to overrun the South. Theophilus Danjuma, a former military general, he told you that the Nigerian Fulani army are colluding with the terrorist Fulani headsmen. And now this very brave police officer, CSP Jambul, have also told you that the army is complicit and they the army are now, they will commit these crimes, and they will come out and start to bark like a dog, as if they are not the one who committed it. Now they are now after this man, looking for his blood, because he has the temerity to name Fulani for what they are, to call them for what they are. But I can, they will of course, go after such very brave people, and let us see what will come out of that. Let us see what will come out of that. Do you know the most important of all these warnings that have been coming from people up to now? The most important is that the present army chief himself, Irabo, or whatever he calls him, I don't know, but this man himself, he has confirmed that the military is working and collaborating with Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen. But he wanted us to believe that the collusion that he's talking about with these terrorists, the army and terrorists, is just isolated. It's not very, very spread out, in the sense of it's not every military person is involved. But I want to tell you that this collaboration with the terrorists is a systemic one. Systemic in the sense because it begins from the Oga at the top. The Oga at the top, who is the commander-in-chief, down to his officers, including this man that calls himself a Rabo army chief, and then down to the rank and file, who are the foot soldiers that they use to commit these crimes in our land. This is the simple logic, because if you recruit Boko Haram into your army, just don't forget about the nonsense they call the repentant. Just don't even pay attention to that. If you recruit deliberately, because it's deliberate, they will recruit Boko Haram into the army, give them military uniform, and then send them down to Biafra land to come and commit these crimes. What else? How can you, say that the military or the government is not responsible for the crime that is being committed in our land? I'm telling you tonight, this is simply what is going on. And this Boko Haram now they have become what? They have become simply official state terrorist instrument. They have become the state sponsored, that is, the state are now using them to sponsor terror in our land. And after they have done all this nonsense, they will say it is IPOB that is responsible. I'm going to ask some very salient questions here, because like I said, I don't want this broadcast to be too long, because we will have 4 series on this very matter going forward. From today, the next 3 days, I'm going to be on air until we make sure that this message sinks into the skull of our people, into their brain, for them to reason for once. Understand, our people and the international community must understand that the enemies of Biafra, the enemies of our freedom, they first of all instigate this insecurity, and then they will capitalize on it, the killings and all that is happening, to blackmail IPOB. And I said they will blackmail IPOB, but the target is not really IPOB. The target is who? Mazi Chika, the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. We must pay attention and note that most of these very high-profile killings, they happen a few days before Nyendu's court case. This is why I'm telling you that the target is him. Take, for example, the army couple that was killed. Take again, for example, the House of Assemblyman that was also murdered. Take, for example, the Hausa pregnant woman and her children. These things, they happen few days or a day to the court appearance of our leader, because they target, that is the target. They want to influence the outcome. They want to make sure, they want to delay his coming out, because they cannot. Our ancestors will forbid that they will succeed in keeping our leader longer that he has stayed in that dungeon. Therefore, all efforts that they are making is to try to prolong or to delay his coming out. But Chukwoki has ordained that Onyendu is coming out, and he will come out to march us directly to the free land of Biafra. Biafrans, these atrocities are being committed by people who want to ensure that Onyendu does not come out. I am repeating it because I want all of us to understand that both politicians and the church leaders and the ordinary Biafra, the purpose of this killing, it cannot be IPOB, it cannot be ESN, it cannot be any reasonable Igbo man, because our land forbid the shedding of such blood. It cannot be. Nobody who is genuinely interested in the release of our leader will be involved in these criminalities. Nobody who is genuinely concerned with his welfare will be involved in these atrocities. Because you ask yourself, how can the killing of our own people, whom Biafrans, whom Onyendu has been fighting for since he started this very movement, how can the killing of the same people he's fighting for help in securing his release? Does it make any sense? It does not make any sense. It will only complicate his case and turn our people against him and the Biafran cause, which is what the Nigerian government is planning or hoping to achieve. They want to create such a situation when that our people will say, this is it what we are, is it this, how our people will talk. They will say, now this Biafra, so this Biafra will be safe. Why would they kill us though? Why are you killing people? Is it how the Biafra will be? They want to turn the mass against the movement, turn the mass, the Biafra, because they know that the support of this very movement is not those of us in the diaspora. Yes, we are financing it. Of course, that is for sure. We task ourselves here. We pay the dues. We pay what we need to pay to finance. But the stronghold of this movement is on the ground in Biafra land, and that is where they are committing all these atrocities, committing all these crimes to see our people. If our people will now say, if that this kind of Biafra, I don't want it, and turn against. But Chukwuokike and the spirits of our land will continue to let people know that this battle is no longer, in fact, it is beyond even the zoo. This battle is beyond what you can see. Okike is in control. We are going through pain. We are going through serious pains when one soul is lost. We go through, Onyendu goes through great pains when a blood of an innocent Biafran is spilled in our land. That is the truth. That is the fact. But I can assure you tonight that this battle, despite notwithstanding the atrocities that Nigerian government is committing to the land, this battle is beyond them, because heaven is in complete control and heaven is on our side, and our ancestors have risen. We have just some couple of days back, we have remembered our heroes and our heroines, and we have called upon them to rise up and continue to fight in the spirit until Biafra is restored, because we want to restore Biafra to honor them and to appreciate the supreme sacrifices that they have made. I want to tell you again that these killings are also calculated, because they carry out these killings a day or two before Onyendu's court appearances, they want or try or wish or hope that they will use it to intimidate and blackmail the judiciary. That is also their agenda. That we must know. Because when a judge is confronted with a leader of a movement who is being accused, whose movement is being accused of committing such atrocities, usually you will be thinking, is it wise to release this man so that he will not? So I'm not going to go into this, but I want to make this clear to Biafrans tonight, and which of course I'll make again, continue to make it happen, this for us to understand that the killings in our land is orchestrated. The killings in our land is planned. The killings in our land has its agenda. The agenda is to cow us into turning against the Biafra movement, turning against our leader, and abandoning the struggle and abandoning our freedom. But Chukwu Abema forbid, because that will mean that your children, your children's children, and your generations yet unborn will, their slavery, their situation of oppression will, in fact, what we are going through, it will be a child's play, what they will go through, if, but only if we, develop allow ourselves to be bamboozled, allow ourselves to be intimidated, allow ourselves to be cowed by the Nigerian government or those who are working with them. The British are behind them. We know that. But I have said, if this battle is just by our own strength, IPOB would not be where we are today. So I am encouraging all of you that what we are going through is painful, but be rest assured that heaven is on our side, and we must continue on this path that we have chosen to make sure that our leader is released and he rejoins us, and we continue to march into a free and independent Biafran nation. I want to make one announcement here, or one reiteration before I close this very, very evening broadcast. The general public has to be wary of those who has been expelled from this very movement, because they are no longer part of this family. Those who have been expelled, they are not part of this family, because the reason why you were expelled before, there's no way after you have worked with Madam Oyibo, you work with Nelly, and then you still want Biafran now that you believe there's no road, there's no more road there. You want to come back to IPOB and begin to look for how you can deceive anybody. Anybody who is paying attention to any officer that has been expelled in this movement, you're on your own, because they are not representing IPOB. They are not working for IPOB. They are not part of the IPOB family. And specifically, I want to mention 3 names here. 3 names that those in Canada and those in USA must be very, 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 very wary and pay attention. The following persons have been expelled from IPOB. They have been expelled. They have not been in any way recorded or whatever. These persons, one, Mazi Chika, he was a former IPOB USA Central Regional Rep. He has been expelled from this movement. The second one is Mazi Olivo, former IPOB USA Eastern. He was also expelled. And the third is Mazi Chika Edoziem, former Ontario Regional Rep. He was also expelled. These people were the people who were collecting IPOB money, ESN money, so to speak, ESN money, and we are giving it to Madam Oyibo, giving it to what's her name, Dr. Du, or whatever that she calls herself. Now they want to come back from the back door. Your head no correct if I just even use that word, because sometimes I get upset when people don't reason. Anything you do with these people, you are on your own. And I am telling the family in USA and family in Canada to make sure that they bring out the expulsion letter and send it to any Igbo organization or any organization whatsoever that these people may be going there to want to deceive them that they are working. Because IPOB will not be held responsible if you let your funds go into their hand, because I don't know what they will do with it. Now, this is this very announcement I want to make tonight, and I want to ask all of us to continue to remain steadfast. I want to ask all of us to continue to remain brave before our enemies, because for us there shall not be any retreat and there shall not be any surrender as far as this movement for the restoration of Biafra is concerned. Onyendu has been sacrificed, and he has told us he will not disappoint us. And I can assure him, wherever he may be tonight, that this leadership he has put in place will not disappoint him. And I want to also ask you, dear friends, please, great and hardcore IBB family members worldwide, you must not disappoint the supreme leader of this great movement. We must remain faithful, we must remain loyal, we must remain, above all things, we must remain disciplined. Discipline, without discipline, we cannot go anywhere. We cannot deceive ourselves. We must remain disciplined, and if you are indisciplined in this movement, we will discipline you. We will discipline you. That is how it is, and that is how it will remain until, of course, as we work tenaciously, as we work assiduously to ensure that Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free from the hands of our enemies and from the hands of those who hate us, and rejoins this very global family to continue this work that heaven has endowed him with from where he stopped it. Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra is for us not just our identity. Biafra is our being, yes, all right. Biafra is also not just our heritage. Biafra for us is the spirit that is in us. Without Biafra, we are nothing. Without Biafra, we are nobody. Without Biafra, we are dead. And Biafra, of course, is the religion that we, the great indigenous people of Biafra, it is the religion that we practice. And Chukwu Abiyama is him to whom we give all honor, to whom we give all glory, to whom we bow down and worship. From me tonight, I want to say, may Elohim Chukwu continue to abide with you. May he continue to guide you and preserve you. And please, we must continue in our supplications to Chukwu Abiyama, and of course, in our supplications to our ancestors to continue to preserve, to protect, to guide, and to strengthen Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and to make sure he rejoins us sooner than later. From me, I want to say to you, may you sleep well and good night. Yeah. Thank you.